Conning, Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello, and good morning. Welcome into the Ben Bosscher Show, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Special edition show coming at you, only because it's going to be a little bit shortened. Got a kiddos game here at Dow Diamond starting at 11 o'clock, so we're going to end things a few minutes early today, which means we got to jump right into it. Let's go. Pistons, Cavs. Series is now tied up 2-2 after two straight losses at the hands of the Cavaliers on the road. Cavs still have not lost a home game yet during these playoffs. Have not won a road game yet either, so a little bit of a push-pull there. Let's just start here. There's a whole bunch of different stuff to go over, including Cade Cunningham potentially running out of gas, some adjustments J.B. Bickerstaff is not making that are becoming infuriating. The discrepancy in the whistle, I know everyone's going to be gassed up to talk about that. We got to start with Jalen Duren, man. This is getting out of control. It was bad versus Orlando, and I thought, you know what? Going into this Cleveland series, it can't be as bad as that. There's no way it's that bad once again. Yet, here we are. He's played 11 playoff games, and he's cracked double digits one time, and that was when he scored 15. This guy scored 19.5 points per game in the regular season, and yet has become a shell of himself during the playoffs. This is no longer just a, hey, what's going on with Jalen Duren? This is Jalen Duren's having one of the biggest playoff shrinking moments we've seen from a quote-unquote star in years. It is an embarrassment what's happening to Jalen Duren. And it's not just the fact that he's not contributing positively to this Detroit Pistons team. It's the fact that he's overcompensating for such and negatively impacting them on both ends, what feels like every time they try to get him the ball. Yesterday, he has 4 turnovers if you look at the box score. How many turnovers did the team realistically have because they were either trying to get Jalen Duren the ball, they did get Jalen Duren the ball, somebody else gets tagged for a turnover because that guy can't catch a ball. He's got no post moves. He doesn't have any touch around the rim. He doesn't have any fight or dog left in him. It is becoming extraordinarily impressive how bad and how disastrous and how abysmal he has become in the playoffs. I hate everything about it. It's not just the fact that he's negatively impacting the team and not contributing positively in any way. This dude doesn't even want to be out there. Want to know how I know that? Guess how many loose balls this guy's recovered on defense throughout the course of 11 games in the playoffs? Just go ahead. Take a random guess. The answer is 0. He's recovered 0 loose balls on the defensive side of the football. He has no post moves. He cannot score. Asar Thompson's twin brother, who is equally as bad on offense, in 5 less games because they got beat in 5 games by the Lakers out in Houston, has somehow scored more points than Jalen Duren has, even though Jalen Duren has played in 11 different playoff games. I'm getting worked up already. I'm talking fast, which means I'm angry. I'm going to try to slow down and talk to you a little bit more calmly about this, but man, I have never been so frustrated and pissed off watching a Pistons game more so than I was last night. It's not just the fact that they were losing. It wasn't just the fact that they couldn't score or couldn't get stops on Donovan Mitchell in the second half. It was simply the lack of effort. And it stems from Jalen Duren, the guy who shot 65% in the regular season from the field. And now in the playoffs on 2-point percentage shots, he is shooting under 50%. I do not understand, nor can I comprehend, how a player of Jalen Duren's skill set, who is mostly playing around the rim and going for dunks and only dunks and shots within 5 feet of the basket, can shoot under 50%. Why are you even shooting the ball then if you don't feel like you're going to make it at an extremely extraordinary high level. If you aren't confident in yourself to make the shot, why are you even shooting the ball in general? That's where we are. Meanwhile, the guy who's on the bench that should be playing over him has 26 points in 25 minutes. Paul Reed. I don't understand it. It's chaotic. He jellies everything like he's a guard, but he's a big man. He's got extraordinary touch around the rim. He's quick on his feet. He's been nothing but spectacular every minute he's out there for the Pistons in this series and in the playoffs in general. And it took Jalen Duren being as bad as he was last night for them to finally put Paul Reed in. Paul Reed plays. He dominates. They take him out. Jalen Duren, welcome back into the game. And guess what? Turnover, missed layup. You're getting stripped by James Harden, of all people, who's one of the worst defenders we have left in the playoffs. It's insane to me how much of a step down. It's not even a step down. It is like this man fell down the stairs and broke his neck here in the playoffs. I can't stand watching him. They bring in all the subs late into the game because the game is over, and they gave way more effort than any of the starters did for the Detroit Pistons over the course of this game last night. I've never been more upset watching this team. And it all stems from Jalen Duren. I can't stand the lack of effort that this guy is giving.
Yeah, a lot to unpack there. I obviously feel very similar to you. I assume a lot of Pistons fans do. There really isn't a way to zag for the way you watched last night's game. We were texting throughout this game last night, and I'm with you in the fact that I don't remember the last time I was more like, I was just more frustrated than I was watching the game last night. And it was a combination of a lot of things. Of course, Duren being number one, like just his lack of effort. I think Cade's lack of, not effort for him, but lack of urgency really was bugging me last night.
He looks worn down, man.
He truly does.
He's shooting 39% overall this series.
It's rough.
And he's shooting 40% from three, so that tells you it's significantly taking a drop when he's trying to attack the rim.
The silly turnovers, I thought Asar Thompson had one of his worst games of the playoffs yesterday. He committed some more fouls, but had a bunch of silly turnovers. Of course, the ones where Duren just, I mean, he loses the ball every time he dribbles. It's ridiculous. Like, I can't even, every time he tries to drive, the ball goes off his knee. Like, what happened to this guy? There's a difference between the pressure of playing in your first playoff series as a star player, because every single player other than like Luka in history goes through this, right? In your first playoff series as being a star. I would say Jalen Duren solidified himself as a star in the regular season, right? An all-star player, going to be an all-NBA player. That to me is a star player. There's a difference between having the tough, pressurized first playoff series as a star versus what's happening right now. There is a large gap between the difference, because this, like you said, is one of the bigger playoff fall-offs in recent NBA history from a player of his caliber. 19.5 points per game throughout the season, and he's 12 points over one time, or he's only had over 12 points one time so far. Like, that's unbelievable.
And you know what? Stop putting your hands up like this every time you commit a foul. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean it's a foul? No, you have the second most fouls in all of basketball through 11 games in the playoffs. No one's fouled more than you, man. So when you put your hands up and act so appalled, like, what did I do? How is that a foul? No, brother, it was a foul. 6 most turnovers despite having, let's check notes, 118th usage rate in the playoffs. That's mind-blowing. Like you said, every time he dribbles, it's a turnover. And I think Cleveland has now smelled blood in the water with him to where he catches the ball and they just hound him immediately because he doesn't have the wherewithal to see the double teams coming or the help coming from any angle. And you're right, it just results in either a bad shot or a turnover every time. Do you know how impressive it is to be the starting center, have 25-plus minutes, and come up with 2 rebounds the entire game? That is impressively low effort. He is no want or desire to humiliate his opponents anymore. And that's all I felt like he wanted to do during the regular season. That part of him is gone. I can't believe this guy calls himself the dog pound.
Why is it gone? This is the part I struggle to understand, because, yes, I think Duren took advantage of when he played against some of the weaker centers in the NBA during the regular season, put up his big numbers against them. But even in the regular season against the good centers, he brought it, and he had it. And I just don't get why. I get, like, the playoffs, there's more pressure. And, man, this place in Cleveland is a tough place to play. Their fans are, I mean, the way that their court just looks on TV, it looks awesome.
It does.
Like, the land, it looks very cool. And obviously they...
It looks old school.
And they've been winning. It has, like, the darker tint to it. Yeah. They've been winning every game at home. So I understand that. But it hasn't just been a on-the-road thing with Jalen Duren. And of course, the reason why I was just super frustrated last night was that on top of Donovan Mitchell just not missing in the second half. I mean, that's just insanely frustrating. And the most frustrating part was the 25-0 run. I mean, how do you go on a 25-0 run in a playoff game?
Well, it starts because the anchor of your defense is non-existent down in the paint. He has no ability to protect the rim whatsoever right now, Jalen Duren.
How do you not score?
And that's the other thing. You know, look, man, I think when everyone sees how easy it is to score on your starting center, it just kind of deflates the team a little bit. Like, I'm done with Jalen Duren, man. I've stood on the ground for so long that you've needed to play him. He'll help on the rebounding. I don't want to say I've made every excuse for him, but I've given him every benefit of the doubt so far in the playoffs. No, that's just the Orlando series. It's just a tough physical matchup. Oh, no. Like, he'll be able to rebound even if he's not scoring. I'm done with it, Kyle. I can't do it anymore. I think Paul Reed should be starting over him. Tell me why not? He's just been a better player.
Yeah, I mean, they talked about it last night on the broadcast. You know, Paul Reed just kind of only plays when the Pistons are down, when they need some sort of spurt of energy. And it is what he brought last night. The issue is they went on a 25-0 run before Paul Reed was able to make any sort of difference. And like, even in a game where I understand, like, the bench warmers at the end of the game were able to cut this thing back to 9. And so the plus minuses are going to be a little bit skewed based off of that. But the number one reason why I'm most frustrated is you wasted the LeVert and Paul Reed game. Mm-hmm. You wasted it. You always get one of these games out of like a score-type guy like Karis LeVert in a playoff game. His mold of player, they always give you one game in the playoffs where it's like, I'm going to give you 18 to 20 points off the bench, and I'm not going to be able to miss. You cannot waste that game. And then on top of it, Paul Reed comes in and just can't miss anything, and yet you lose. LeVert was a plus 15 in a game that the Pistons gave up a 25-0 run. That's unbelievable.
You wasted that game. You wasted another good Tobias Harris game, who was just consistent right from the get-go again. Cade is looking like he's wearing down more and more by the day. Look, man, like, in addition to Jalen Duren just being a pathetic version of himself, and maybe like losing his nutsack at some point throughout the course of this series because he just doesn't seem to want to go at anybody anymore, I think it just sends a message more than anything. If you just bench him. Don't even have him. I wouldn't even have him start Game 6. Is that an overreaction? Or Game 5? Is that an overreaction? Or is that fair based on the way that Jalen Duren's playing right now? Not just because he's not finding success in ways to positively impact them. It's the lack of effort that's maybe more frustrating than anything else. He's not really going for rebounds. Other people are out hustling him. He's not diving on the floor. He's an automatic turnover. There's no defensive presence at the rim. I'm just sending a message to the rest of the team like, hey, we're going to put in someone who's actually willing to go out there and put it effort. Because damn, Paul Reed goes out there and tries. You can't tell me anything else. You can't tell me. You can say a lot of things about Paul Reed. It blows my mind how often this guy's able to put the ball through the basket because it never looks pretty.
And every time, like, he just starts isolating on Jared Allen on the short corner, and I'm just like, dude, no, what's he doing? And then he scores. I'm just like, my bad. My hand up. That's not
71% in the playoffs.
And it's all on, like, tough shots. Like, I mean, a lot of them are right at the rim, but, like, they're not easy, wide-open layups. Like, he makes them difficult. And I do think it is, yes, I will say it is an overreaction to say bench Jalen Duren to start Game 5. But I think it would be different to say, okay, 4 minutes into the game, like, let's see how this guy is. Because if it's more of the same this early into Game 5, bench him. And that's why last night, when they did bring the starters back in, when the Pistons made like a little mini spurt before Cleveland really blew it open, like in the middle of the fourth quarter.
Got it to 12.
Yeah, they should have benched Duren for that run. Like, it should have been the starters with Paul Reed. That's when they should have sent the message. Duren, you've hurt this team more than you've helped all game long. You're not going to play for the final stretch of this game. That's when the message should have been sent. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I don't think it would have mattered either way. But, yeah, going into Game 5, I mean, there is just so many things that need to change with that guy's mindset, and he only has 48 hours to do it.
I'm over it. I'm done with the excuses for him. I'm done with the benefit of the doubt for him. Whatever's happened to him over the course of the playoffs, this isn't the same guy that I saw in the regular season, and I've just come to the conclusion that guy's not coming back. The other reason that the game was frustrating last night, and I'm not saying it's the reason they lost, because it's not, but Cleveland had 37 two-point shots and had 34 free throws. The Pistons had 60 two-point shots and had 12 free throws. It is the sixth playoff game in the last 5 years with a margin of 12 fouls, a 12-foul margin. 6 of 363 games. there's been a 12 free throw margin or a 12 foul margin. Last night was one of them. Suspicious. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's the reason they lost still, but the discrepancy in the whistle last night was not okay.
It for sure wasn't the reason they lost, but I'm with you. Like, it was pretty noticeable right away, when the Pistons had zero or the Cavs had zero fouls in the entire first quarter. Like, this game was clearly not just being called evenly. It was the worst officiated game of the playoffs for the Pistons. And, yeah, the Pistons play a physical brand of basketball. They're going to have more fouls than the other team most games, but last night, there was so many similar plays on each end that just weren't getting called for Detroit that were for Cleveland, and it was very, very frustrating. That was on top of why I was so mad last night.
989-837-6125. Duren, where are you at with him? Should he be playing over Paul Reed? I can't believe I'm saying this because I always thought the Paul Reed was a good litmus test for how much ball do you actually know. If you're just sitting there saying, oh, Paul Reed, he should play. Jalen, like, even in the regular season, I was just like, I don't know. There's something insustainable about Paul Reed. Now, I'm just like, whatever. With that narrative, I'm done with it. I'd rather have Paul Reed. The numbers speak for themselves. The sample size is too large at this point to think anything else. Jalen Duren has not been as good as Paul Reed in the playoffs. Paul Reed plays a crazy, ridiculous style of basketball. It just works, man. He's the type of guy, if you're playing pickup and he scores on you, you're like, no way. He's the guy with the goofy jump shot, with the crazy hook shots that just happens to be good at putting the ball in.
We'll let him take that. And then he just does it 4 times in a row, and you're like, okay, maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, that's who Paul Reed is. And you know what? It goes in. I'd rather have him out there than Jalen Duren right now. Maybe it's living in the moment. I'm done with the lack of effort from Jalen Duren. 989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We are live here on 100.9 The Mitt. The 9 o'clock hour, as always, is brought to you by Iron Stack Technologies. We talk about the game plan all the time. I want to talk about a couple JB Bickerstaff adjustments that I think should be happening when we come back. Iron Stack, they always have a game plan. They help businesses stay secure, efficient, and ready for what's next so you can focus on your mission instead of your technology. Iron Stack Technology, solution-driven, mission-focused. You can check them out online at ironstacktechnology.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, let's get to the Mint messages here. 989-837-6125. Travis said, last night was the first time I shut off a Pistons playoff game during this postseason. Screen went black with about 5 minutes left. Hey, you missed the almost comeback.
Nothing's worse than the almost comeback, right?
I don't know. If there was a moment of me where it was like a 9-point game where I was just like, I don't know, Marcus Sasser could get this thing done. Crazier things have happened. It was like a 9-point game with 2 minutes left.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 9-point game, like, at the end of the game anyways. Like, yeah, I'm with this texter, though. I didn't turn the game off, but I certainly stopped being locked into the game.
Yeah, and when they kept fouling.
I just wanted it to be over. I was like, it got to, even when there was like 7 minutes left in the game, I was just like, I want this game to end. I'm just ready for it to be over. I'm just so sick of watching this game.
Nothing better than down by 10 with 30 seconds left and still fouling. Come on, JB. We got to be better than that.
How about the Cavs, though, keeping their starters in until like 90 seconds left in the game?
Honestly, probably a good move considering the Pistons bench unit just outplayed them for a few minutes there.
That's a good point, because I was like, the whole time, I'm like, dude, what is Kenny Atkinson doing? His starters are still in the game. The Pistons bench warmers are in. And then the second the Cavs bench warmers come in, they give up like 12 straight points. Oh, that's why your bench warmers aren't in, because they're terrible. Yeah.
Speaking of JB Bickerstaff, I can't believe some of the moronic stuff that's going on early on in these games. Like, Asar Thompson, who is he being guarded by? Evan Mobley, former Defensive Player of the Year. You know what's probably a bad idea? Asar Thompson coming and screening for Cade Cunningham and bringing Evan Mobley to the ball. Then they're double-teaming Cade, and there's no adjustments. It's just Cade panics and either turns the ball over or makes a bad pass, and it gives the Cavs enough time to recover. Why are we consistently bringing Evan Mobley to the ball? That's defensively or offensively. The other thing is why on earth, when James Harden is guarding Tobias Harris, is Tobias Harris not getting a post touch every possession? He's shooting 60% from the field on those mid-range shots in the playoffs, and it feels like he's shooting 85%. If James Harden's guarding Tobias Harris, I don't care who else is on the team, what the lineup looks like. It should just be, hey, mouse in the house, clear out. We're letting James Harden go to work. And they just refused to do that in the first quarter, other than 1 or 2 possessions where he naturally got the ball.
And the lone time that Cade got that isolation was in the middle of the third quarter? Like when Cade finally got ISO'd when he was against James Harden, there was just so many opportunities where Cade got switched onto Harden and had the opportunity to work, but they wouldn't give him the proper spacing and just the proper half-court offense for him to work. I understand that we're frustrated with Cade for the way that he continues to have terrible turnovers, so many turnovers. But how many times in a row does Cleveland have to bring the extra defender the second Cade starts driving, and the Pistons not be able to recognize that and have a second guy in a spot where he's available to the basketball for Cade? Because so many times that he does get on the drives when they bring Mobley, when they bring whoever as that second defender the second he gets inside the three-point line, the Pistons just don't have the guy who's not being guarded in a spot to catch the basketball from Cade. They just don't have it set up properly. So a lot of these turnovers, yes, are really bad from Cade. I don't want to defend all of them because they are bad. But also, he's not being put in the right spot to not turn the basketball over.
You know what else would be nice? Just to have someone else who can handle the ball other than Danis Jenkins. That's a problem for another time, though. Let's keep going on the messages. Jay says, JB... it is his fault, the reason they lost this game. He keeps babying Duren and rewarding him because he's too loyal and worried about Duren's feelings. Yeah, he gave Duren no accountability during the press conference last night. He was basically just like, well, we want to instill belief in our players. We want them to believe in themselves, and that starts with me. It's like, nah, man, Jalen Duren stinks. He's not good. He is hurting the team more than he's helping them. JB, you should be able to call this guy out right now and tell the media, which sends a message to him, that we just straight up need more out of this guy. Because right now they're not doing that, whether that's through the minutes or what they're talking about in the post-game presser. It feels like there's not really any pressure on Jalen Duren to step it up.
Yeah, there's a difference between JB going to the presser and just trashing the guy. He obviously can't do that. He's on his team. They need him to win games. He can't do that. But you're right. What he can do is say, like, no, Duren was our second best player this year. He was an all-star. He's going to be an all-NBA player, and he's got to play like one in the playoffs for us to continue to win. Like, that's what he has to say. They need him. Like, it's that simple. Like, this team, I think they can get by Cleveland even with him playing terrible, just because of Cleveland has a pretty proven track record. They can't win at home, or they can't win on the road. They only win at home. Well, they only got one more home game left in this series. But, like, what? Are they going to win the series against the Knicks if Duren continues to play like this? No. And I'm not even that confident that they'll still beat Cleveland if he continues to play like this. So he absolutely needs to step it up, and you're right. There needs to be pressure on him internally to do so, because externally there, of course, is.
Robert said he's playing like Angel Reese. Now, at least Angel Reese grabs rebounds.
Yeah, Angel Reese is like, what, the double-double like record already or something in the
most
WNBA.
double-doubles through like X amount of games.
Yeah.
Jalen Duren had 2 rebounds yesterday. Do you know how hard that is to play 27 minutes as a 6'10" center and come up with 2 rebounds?
The guy who averaged a double-double, by the way.
God. Duren playing like the monsters in Space Jam's got his powers. That's from Lon.
That's good. I mean, seriously, like there's just not. It seems like he has just become a terrible player. Like, well, he can't even dribble. He can't even dribble the ball.
If there was a war in basketball, his would be negative. Because you're right, he can't dribble. Anytime they try to pass him the ball, it's like a 50-50 chance he even is able to catch it. And a lot of those times the turnovers don't go to him. They go towards whoever tried to pass him the ball. But he has such goofball butterfinger hands.
I mean, the one under the hoop last night when it was a 12-point game and the Pistons were like making an attempt to get back into it early fourth quarter.
Oh, and
Cade with the
it?
no-look shot, and then he passes it to Duren, and it's just off his hands when no one is within 6 feet of him. He's the only guy even in the paint.
Can you be a little bit more alert, dude? Can you just like have some wherewithal of what's going on in the basketball court? Because you're staring, waiting for the rebound. Brother, you're not going to get it anyway. There's no evidence that you were going to get that. Someone would have came and out-hustled you and jumped over you for that rebound. So I don't know what you're doing staring at the rim.
I'm surprised he didn't, as soon as that happened, just go to the ref and be like,
what? Every time you have the second most fouls in the league through the playoffs. So when the whistle gets blown on you and you go, huh? It's pretty annoying at this point, man. Or the jump
so
ball.
Annoying.
Jump ball?
Yeah.
No, it's not a jump ball. You fouled him.
Yeah, I mean, we could complain about the refs from last night, but Duren just fouls. Like, he just commits fouls. And when he gets all the look that he makes every single time to the ref with his hands in the air, oh my gosh, I cannot tell you how frustrating that is.
It looks like Tom in Tom and Jerry when Jerry gets away and he's just like, huh? How did that not work?
Someone's got to tell him.
Bozo.
Someone's got to tell him. Like Harrison Barnes told Wemby what an ejection was. Somebody's got to tell Duren. That's a foul, dude. Like, seriously. Tobias Harris, the vet on the team, Cade, somebody needs to go up to him and say, Jalen, that's a foul, okay? Just deal with it and stop doing it.
I can't believe we've gotten to this point with Jalen Duren. I told you before the show started, probably my worst take of 2026 so far was that Cade and Duren are the best duo in the East, and this is not the Cade Cunningham show. It's Duren and Cade, and Duren's going to be the reason they go on a long playoff run. And you know what? That part of it might be right, because if Jalen Duren was actually showing up, they might have been sweeping their way through the first 2 rounds.
They might already be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, my God.
Because they might still go there, and they might still go on a long playoff run with him playing terrible. That's the weirdest part about all of this.
And that's where I'm getting real concerned, because now, look, the Pistons are still favored to win this series, so I'm not panicking
That's
yet.
2 out of 3 with 2 home games.
Not panicking quite yet.
100%.
But where I am a little bit worried now, where I've taken a step back in terms of the confidence, is if they get out of this series through another 6 or 7 game series, through a bloodbath, giving this a tremendous amount of effort, and then they got to walk into a Knicks series where they're pretty depleted right now, not from an injury standpoint, but from a fatigue standpoint, because you're already seeing that set in with Cade Cunningham, who, again, is shooting 39% from the field this series, has some egregious turnovers, too. You're already seeing that happen. I have a feeling a well-rested Knicks team is kind of, they're getting ready, is what I'm saying. They're rested up.
Agreed. I think we've reached a point, though, in this series where worrying about the Knicks should be not a current day thought. They got to worry about the Cavs. And they got to worry about Donovan Mitchell not making every damn shot.
989-837-6125. This is the Ben Bosscher Show. We're live here on 100.9 The Mitt. As always, the show is brought to you by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, the experts who do the job right the first time. Whether you have a leaky roof, storm damage, siding looking a little tired, Bresky's got you covered, locally owned, trusted, and dedicated to keeping Midland area homes safe and looking sharp. Quality materials, skilled craftsmanship, and service that puts your family first. Don't wait for the next storm. Call Bresky Siding and Building Repair today and keep your home strong for years to come.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, here's the rundown and the rest of the show. We got to hit the news right now. We'll get to the Lions versus Bills Week 2 matchup. Is that a good or bad draw for the Lions? Getting some mixed reactions there. I think the answer is pretty obvious. I'll tell you what that is after we do news. We'll do Around the League, having a guest on. Kyle's going to wrap up the show because we got a Loons game at 11 o'clock today for the kiddos. Excited about that one. So let's hit the news right now.
The Mits Morning Catch.
Yep, you mentioned it, Ben. We'll look at the community calendar presented by Bresky Siding and Building Repair. Loons versus Whitecaps, the Detroit Tigers affiliated high A team. And it's kicking off today with a kids game, 11 a.m., so we'll be ending the show early, as Ben mentioned. Excited to see Bryce Rayner, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. And his goofy batting stance.
And excited to see all the other 30-year-olds that the Whitecaps employ.
Okay.
Let's move on. We had another game last night.
Might be on the radio down there, but okay.
We had another game last night. Lakers Thunder. Another sweep, man. OKC 8-0 in the playoffs so far. Actually unreal. And LeBron James, here's the big question, Ben. Did we just see the last LeBron James game ever?
Definitely no. I think if you want to ask, did we see the last LeBron Lakers game? There's a question that might be up for debate a little bit more. But did we just see the last LeBron game? Hell no. He just won a playoff series as the best player on his team. He's still got a lot left in the tank.
Led the series in points and rebounds or something like that, I saw.
The one against OKC?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know. Pretty ridiculous. Shout out to LeBron. I really hope that, I don't think that this is his final game ever. He said he is to recalibrate his future. That was his quote, and he said he's going to weigh his future with his family this offseason.
You want to come beat Tobias Harris?
LeBron to the Pistons.
Nah, he would never do it.
I also just don't, I don't think the Pistons would want to do it either. I think he's just
It'd be
staying.
the perfect fit.
I think he's just staying with the Lakers, right? At this point, he was too good.
It's that or Cleveland or Golden State.
Cleveland, what is Cleveland getting LeBron do?
It's that or Golden State, I think.
Yes, I think it's the Lakers or Golden State.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I think
or
he just,
the Knicks, maybe.
I see that one as well.
Can't rule it out.
The Knicks, though, what's the point? I just don't know if I don't know if getting LeBron changes anything for them. I think this is
upgrade over Mikal Bridges. I mean, this is also assuming he signs on the vet minimum somewhere, which he totally could. If he really just wants another ring.
I think that's the whole reason why he wanted to leave the Lakers, though, right? Was the fact that
money.
Yeah, the money part of it. He's just not going to take a pay cut. He's done it throughout his entire career.
Here's the thing: if LeBron James is not going to take a pay cut, I don't think he's winning another title. If LeBron's main goal is to win another title, he's going to have to play on a pretty cheap contract. It's that simple. He's still an awesome player, but I don't think you can give $50 million.
What is cheap? Yeah. Is it? That's what I'm saying. I don't know what cheap
let's
means.
say
not on the max. Yeah.
Yeah, not on the max. $20 million, less than $20 million. That would be what I would say.
Fair enough. Donovan Mitchell, by the way, did score 39 points in the second half. That's tied a playoff record with Sleepy Floyd. He had a free throw that he missed. Could have scored 40 in the second half. Didn't happen. Still, though, just an unbelievable half from Donovan Mitchell after he was so quiet in the first half against the Pistons. Okay, we also have the Tigers returning into action tonight. The Tigers high affiliate here, but their big league team taking on the Mets on the road. It's Jack Flaherty versus Freddie Peralta tonight. I feel like this is going to be a real test of, how much doom are the Tigers in right now? They're playing against the Mets, the most doomed team of the season. If they can't take 2 of 3 with these guys, then things might get really bad.
Then they're passing the baton to the Tigers as the most doomed team.
And they also actually have 3 starters this week. They're able to have Flaherty, Valdez, Montero this week. So I don't know. We'll see what happens though. That's at 7:10 first pitch. The Mets 15-25, the worst record in baseball.
Yikes. I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah. They just continue to be really bad. They haven't been as bad as they were to start the season, but they were so bad to start the year that they're just even keel right now. We also have some other NFL schedule things to announce. I know we're going to get to the Lions one. We'll save that for the next segment. But other things across the league. Cowboys-Giants is going to be the Sunday night football game in week 1. And then it's also going to be Cowboys versus Eagles on Thanksgiving. We got that one. And then the final game of week 1, Monday night football, will be Chiefs and Broncos. So they're already throwing the Chiefs on prime time in week 1 when you and I had been discussing for a while. They're just going to hide the Chiefs for the first 5 weeks of the year.
You know what this means, though, right?
That Mahomes might come back?
He might. If they're putting him on primetime week 1, he's for sure coming back week 1.
This is the 2 teams that have QBs that we don't know if they're healty or not for week 1, right? Knicks and Mahomes. Are we getting Jarrett Stidham versus Justin Fields on Monday Night Football week 1?
I
would love it.
If we were like a Kalshi predictor, I would tell you that if they're putting this game week 1, that's 90% chance Patrick Mahomes is just going to play this season. starting in week 1. That, like, imagine the selling point there. Oh my God, Mahomes tore his ACL. This is his first game back. Quickest recovery ever. Here we go. Week 1. Yeah, he's coming back. He's playing week 1.
Really? You think so?
Did you say this is a primetime game?
It's Monday Night Football.
Yeah, he's playing week 1.
But it's 2 injured QBs. I don't know. I just think this is definitely pretty odd.
I would make the bet at minus 300 that Mahomes is playing in that game.
Okay.
Maybe even more.
We do have another big game tonight, Game 5, Spurs versus Timberwolves. Victor Wembanyama not suspended. He will be playing in this game. Didn't get any suspension or fine following the elbow ejection in Game 4. Huge Game 5 on the line tonight back in San Antonio. Who do you got in this one, Ben?
Spurs. I think we get a vicious Wembanyama, not in a way where he's throwing elbows.
He just does it again.
No, not that way. I think he asserts his dominance in ways that Jalen Duren can't even dream of tonight.
Just somehow finds a way to get it back to Jalen Duren. Yeah, the Spurs are 10.5-point favorites tonight, which is
crazy because the series has been so close.
All these games have been just major Spurs spreads. The books just are all over San Antonio. Very odd. We did get an update from Shams Charania, though, that this is breaking news, by the way.
Oh,
the Bucks are seeking trade offers for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, I've been getting these Shams notifications for 15
2
months.
years. Just unbelievable. We will close the news with this, with the Covenant Healthcare Sports Medicine Injury Report. I don't know if you saw this yesterday. It was reported by a couple of the guys on the Tigers beat that Scott Boras said that the doctor that performed the surgery on Tarek Skubal used a new procedure. Yep, Tarek Skubal as the test dummy. I love that. He referred to it as a, quote, Skubal scope that would cut Skubal's recovery time in half.
So
that is the reason. That is the reason why everyone was like, oh, he had the best surgery ever, because they tried something different, and apparently it worked. Seems risky. Hopefully it works out, though, for the Tigers, and I guess a risk willing to take if you're trying to get paid if you're Tarek Skubal. So
Scott Boras actually might be the biggest super genius we have in sports.
Super villain genius.
Yeah.
He's for sure a super villain. I mean, absolutely. Just look at that guy. He
knows how to do
vibes.
his job, though.
Always
man.
in a suit,
Holy
man.
cow.
Never seen that guy not in a suit. We got a guy in our YouTube chat, by the way, says, Knicks fan here. I come in peace. Knicks better than Detroit, but Detroit better than the Cavs.
Is it John?
No, not John.
Thanks for listening
Knicks
here on
fan.
the YouTube. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. We're live on Instagram. Not live on Instagram, but we got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We're live there every day. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us wherever else. More on the Lions versus Bills Week 2 matchup. I think it's a favorable draw, and I'll tell you why when we come back here on the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mid.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
So we got a schedule update for the Lions. We know that they're playing Germany game week 10. We don't know the opponent. We did find out our first actual game, Thursday Night Football, first Thursday Night Football Amazon Prime game of the year. Week 2, going to the new Highmark Stadium in Buffalo to go play Josh Allen and the Bills. I don't know why people were so upset about this. Like they're just now finding out that the Bills, an away game, is on the schedule. People, oh, we got to go to Buffalo for opening stadium, their debut of their new stadium. Oh, the NFL's out to get us. What are we talking about, man? We get to avoid a cold weather game. Plus, we get to play the Bills week 2, brand new head coach who's still working out the kinks. I thought this was a good draw, yet every Lions fan was like, oh, the NFL's out to get us. We got to go play the first game at their new stadium. They're sending us out there to die. You have to play them anyway in that stadium. It just happens to be week 2.
Come on, man. Give the Lions fans a break. They had to watch Jalen Duren last night, okay? They don't have positive things on their mind.
I just don't get why people were so upset about this. Like, they were, like, shocked to find out that they had to go to Buffalo this year. I think the draw is great.
I would guess it's more about, like, oh, we have to play the Bills on the short week to open up the year.
How about this? The Bills got to play the Lions on a short week to open up the year.
The Bills got to play the Lions.
Yes.
Good point.
I will say week 1 becomes somewhat of a must-win game.
I mean,
I'm not writing in the week 2 game as a loss.
I mean, that's just...
It's a tall task,
that's
though.
Just...
Would you consider this a must-win game?
In a way. I mean, you don't want to go...
Week 1 is a must-win.
All I'm saying is you don't want to go to Buffalo already 0-1 on the season. That's all I'm saying.
Remember last year when you said the Ravens week 3 game was a must-win?
And it was. I believe that.
Or no, the Bears week 2 was must-win, right? I don't remember.
It was the Bears week 2 was a must-win because they had already lost and then they were going to Baltimore the next week.
Which you had already written it as a loss, yeah.
And they
next
won
thing you know,
both
they
of
were
them.
2-1, and then they missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm obviously not going to say it's a must-win game in week 1 of the NFL season. But yeah, I think this is, I'm with you in the fact that, like, just by itself, take the Thursday Night Football aspect out of this. You would rather play the Bills in week 2 than in week 14.
Especially with a new head coach.
No doubt about it. You'd rather play the Bills early in the year. So I think this is a dub. I'm totally with you. Thursday Night Football, I do agree. I hate when the Lions play on Thursday Night Football.
Really?
It's one of my least favorite things there is.
The broadcast or just having a short week?
Just having to play on Thursday. I just the only good part about it is I get to consume Sunday as an NFL fan and not as a Lions fan watching other NFL games.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Last week, week 3 was Thursday Night Football against Baltimore, right?
That was like Monday Night Football, I believe.
Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, though, yeah, I just the only good part about it is getting to consume other NFL games on Sunday without having to worry about the Lions. I just don't like when they play on Thursday, man. I just am not a fan of the short week. It throws you out of your rhythm a little bit. I don't like Thursday Night Football. I like the Amazon Prime broadcast, sure, but I like watching Thursday Night Football as Thursday Night Football, like this crappy game. Not when my team is playing in it.
It's like we get overfed right away as the season starts.
Yeah,
it's like,
we
hey,
do.
Here's a Lions game on Sunday.
There's 2 games in 4 days.
Yeah. Okay, sure. We've been waiting 9 months for Lions football to be back in our lives, and we get 2 games in the first 4 days of the season. Totally in.
I could see that. We already get people in the YouTube chat. Are we really talking Lions wins/losses in May?
Yeah. Why wouldn't we?
I had one of my friends text me, by the way, yesterday. I can't wait for football to start.
Me too.
Brother, we have 4 months till then.
I'm with that guy, though.
So long till then.
I told you I watched Kirby Joseph highlights a couple days ago, right? I was at the gym. I was hopping on the treadmill. I was like, what do I watch here on YouTube? Kirby Joseph highlights? Hell yeah. Got myself all fired up for football season. Bills, one of 5 teams that Dan Campbell has not beaten yet as the Lions head coach. Can you name the other 4?
Ooh, I mean, has he played all of them? There's got to be some he just hasn't even played, right?
I mean, this is 6th year. He's played every team.
The Patriots, they beat them.
They have not beaten the Patriots.
That was just the first team I thought of for some reason. It's got to be a bunch of AFC teams.
There's only one NFC team.
Yeah, it's got to be a bunch of AFC. Like the Bengals, they beat we played them last year.
Beat the brakes off.
Yeah, that's right. The Steelers.
Yep, they're 0-1-1 against the Steelers under Dan Campbell.
Tie. I was at the tie game. Worst football game I've ever been to in my life, no doubt. You can give me the other ones. I probably won't think of them.
Same division as the Bills and the Patriots.
The Miami Dolphins.
They've never beat them. Chance to beat every team in the league other than one.
Wow.
The one NFC team.
The Dolphins game, obviously, everyone remembers Dan Campbell year 2 when they were like 1-6 or 2-6, and that was like the tipping point game. They lost that game, and everyone was like, "Fire Dan Campbell, he sucks." And then after that, they went on the big run.
So it's those 3 teams in the AFC East. They play all of them this year. It's Pittsburgh, who they don't play this year.
Pittsburgh.
And then there's one NFC team in which they have not beat.
Ooh, okay. I should be able to get this one.
0-2 against them.
0-2 against them. It's got to be a South team. NFC South?
They've beaten the brakes off of everybody in there.
Yeah. NFC East. Philadelphia.
Yeah. 0-2 against the
that's
Eagles.
Right.
Which is almost weird that they haven't played more than just the 2 times.
Should have played in the NFC Championship game 2 years ago, but, Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. All right.
Gary says, I don't like Thursday Night Football because if they lose Thursday night, it throws off your whole weekend. You could look at it as the flip side, though.
Yeah,
your weekend rocks if they win. You get to enjoy. Like, my team's already won a game this week, and all these other teams haven't even played.
That was my number one takeaway, seeing the reaction of Lions fans when that game was announced. Everyone's afraid of losing that game, and I get Josh Allen's Homelander, basically, just invincible, but come on, man, we got to have a little bit more confidence in the Lions, especially with, a fully healthy Lions team, we think, week 2. I'd rather play the Bills week 2 when the Lions are theoretically healthy than anything else. And I will say, would rather play. I don't want to play a divisional team to open up the season anymore. I don't want to play a cupcake either. I want to play one of these middling teams to open up the year, in Atlanta. Something to build a little bit of confidence, but not someone to cakewalk over before you head to Buffalo.
That's fair. They already did say that the Buffalo road week 1 will be a road game, right?
Yes.
This will be the open of their stadium.
Yes,
that's
first
cool.
Thursday night
that's
game
exciting.
of the year.
That's very going to be a lot of eyes.
Let's go spoil it. Let's do it. Let's go spoil it. 989-837-6125. We got to take a trip around the league. We're going to talk to a guest all coming up here in the 10 o'clock hour. And like I mentioned earlier on, we are going to pause the show a little bit early today because we got a Loons game at 11 o'clock. So only a 1.5 hour show today. Kyle's going to take over the last segment in the 10 o'clock hour. All right, we'll be back just a moment to recap a little around the league presented by our friends over at Aird Insurance Group.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The
The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Okay, welcome back into the show, everybody. A little bit different today. We got a Loons game at 11, so we've only got about, 40 minutes left in the show, Kyle? Does that sound about right?
50.
50. We're going all the way to 10:50. But you're taking over for the last chunk of it. Until then, I do want to take a trip around the league, so let's do that.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
We're going to keep getting more schedule release leaks like we did with the Lions Thursday night week 2 game. Like we know that the first Sunday night game of the year is Cowboys-Giants, which that's like the Sunday night game to start the season. It feels like every 3 years, right?
I don't mind it, though.
Wasn't that the game where Dak got hurt for the season and broke something in his leg? Wasn't that Cowboys-Giants? They play a lot.
Cowboys somebody, yeah. I mean, they play twice a year, yeah.
It feels like one of those times is guaranteed to be national television, though, you know? So we'll keep getting that, but that's not what Around the League is today. Today, Around the League is, wait, why didn't my team blank? Reasonable answers for 10 lingering questions for this offseason from ESPN. Question number 1. Wait, why didn't the Dolphins trade Devon Achane? Achane?
Achane, I believe. Just like Travis Achane.
Right. Here's the thing. The Dolphins traded away basically everybody. Jalen Waddle. They got rid of Tua.
Wait, Tyreek Hill never signed with anybody, right?
No, he did not.
I like him just realizing that. Huh. Anyways.
So they wanted to blow this thing up. The question is, why did they not just trade Achane too? He's making $6 million. Kenneth Walker's making $14 million. Breece Hall's making $15 million. It's a pretty good contract for a pretty good running back. Someone would have been interested in trading for him. The question is, why didn't anyone trade for him? Why did the Dolphins not put him on the block? My answer is this. They don't want to be the worst team to ever exist in the history of the football league. I mean, this is a bad roster.
Really? You think they're going to? I mean, they paid a quarterback.
I guess. Based off 3 starts. Look, man, I don't know, man. I think the reason they kept Achane was like, we can't be the worst team ever. We can't have the worst group of receivers and the worst group of running backs, so we may as well keep one of these guys.
I think there was a fear with Achane that in a non-Mike McDaniel system, I don't know what it looks like. Because they tried to trade him. They like said they were taking offers on him. There was a lot of chatter about it during like when Jalen Waddle was traded. It got talked about a lot. I bet they were trying to trade him. I just bet the price probably was not enough for them to be worth it. Like you're saying, it's like, oh, we might as well just keep him and him have a good year because he's not like a traditional running back. I mean, he just gets a lot of touches. He gets a lot of catches. He gets a lot of swing routes. He's not a workhorse. He's going to get like 10 carries a game, but he's going to catch 5 to 7 passes. So he's an odd type of running back. Of course, durability was always an issue not an issue, but something that people were worried about with him because he's so small. He's like the smallest running back in the league. But yeah, he's pretty good. It's a good point. Why didn't they trade him?
I don't know if I'd want this guy in fantasy this year just because no McDaniels. You don't have a single receiver to key in on.
The team is just so bad. They're going to be losing a lot. But maybe that means a lot of dump-offs. Malik Willis, a mobile quarterback, like a really mobile quarterback, so less rushing opportunity. Yeah,
I think I'm just zagging anything on the Dolphins. Every year there's like 5
fair.
teams that I refuse to draft anyone on that team in fantasy football. Dolphins for sure making the list this year.
I can totally get behind that.
Question number 2. Why didn't the Cowboys want to extend George Pickens? Easy answer. That's
They're
not
the
way.
Cowboys?
Yeah, they're the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Jerry
Jones owns them.
That'd be way too easy.
That's the answer.
No. When have they ever gotten a contract done ahead of time and avoided the entire, day-by-day updates on what's going on with said superstar in the contract?
This is like 5. This is like 5 straight years of something going on. Obviously, Micah last year, and that one ended in the worst way possible, where they had to trade him, which was just the craziest thing ever. Still thinking about it.
And even CeeDee Lamb had to go through like
CeeDee Lamb was the year
time.
before. Dak Prescott had the long contract situation the year before. Zeke Elliott had a really large contract issue with the Dallas Cowboys. It's all these skill position guys, and then obviously Micah and Dak on top of it. Yeah, that's why they didn't re-sign him.
Plus, they're already giving CD $36 million a year. You gotta like ask yourself if it's worth paying
It's probably
two
not.
receivers.
Yeah, like if
the
he's
Lions are doing it.
if you can get him to play on the tag, they probably actually made the right decision. The issue is he going to play on the tag? Because a lot of these guys refuse to. So I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna have a choice this year.
But they might have to trade him. Like they might just have to trade him before the season starts, like they did with Micah Parsons.
Question number 2: why didn't the Giants draft Caleb Downs with the 10th pick? Instead, they go with Francis Mauigoa. Noah, I believe is actually how you pronounce
Play
it.
guard.
To play guard for them. I don't know if I actually haven't. I would have drafted a receiver if I were them at 10. The problem is 2 receivers kind of unexpectedly went in the top 10. So then
They couldn't
you're
really
talking
take
about
one. Mekhi
trading
Lemon
back
would've
and
went that
taking
early.
Lemon. Yeah. So why did they not just draft Caleb Downs? I don't know, man. I probably would have.
Well, Malik Neighbors, I don't know if you saw the clip of him on draft night. It's always good. The guys that are streaming with Micah Parsons on stuff like that, things always end up working out well.
And Micah and CJ.
Yeah, their streams used to always be the best. Micah and Malik Neighbors were during draft night. Malik Neighbors was like, we got to draft Caleb Downs. We got to draft Caleb Downs. And then they
He's
didn't.
awesome.
They didn't, and he freaked out. And it's just like, dude, that's going to be your teammate. That guy's going to be blocking for the guy who's throwing the ball to you. You can't do that. So he wanted him to draft Caleb Downs. And remember the last time that somebody who wasn't the GM wanted them to draft somebody else?
Yeah, it was the GM's
It was Joe
child.
Shane's son saying, let's draft Jaden Daniels. And that, that would have been nice for the Giants.
Question 3: why didn't the Vikings trade J.J. McCarthy? Simple answer: I'm not sure anybody wanted him. They didn't want. I don't think anybody was willing to trade for J.J. for anything less than like a 5th-round pick. And if you're the Vikings, you may as well hold on to the guy you took in the first round if you're not getting some sort of adequate value back for him.
Well, and there is the world where, once Kyler signed with the Vikings, I had predicted that I think Kyler's going to have a good year and they're going to sign him long-term, and he is the future quarterback of the Vikings. There's also the world where he is on a 1-year deal and he just goes somewhere else next year, just like they did with Sam Darnold. The argument is that they won't let it happen again. They won't let a guy who was good for them leave again, which I agree, they probably won't. But it still could happen. So you're keeping around JJ for the insurance that, okay, maybe Kyler Murray does leave, go somewhere else in the offseason if he has a really good year. Kyler could also just be bad. That also is in play. So keeping around JJ, yeah, for the price you would have traded him for is probably worth it. You could also argue, though, that maybe there's still some teams willing to take the swing on JJ.
I think
and
the books are out on that.
now's the only time to do it. A year from now, you can't trade him,
I don't know, man.
without playing.
I think the longer you wait, maybe the better the return could be, because the advanced
You think
numbers,
so?
the advanced numbers are so bad. The secret's out on J.J. McCarthy. Remember that stat?
It ain't
that
no
he-
secret.
Remember that stat that he had the worst? It was I don't even remember what it was. It was him and Jamarcus Russell right at the
That's
top of the
right.
list. And I don't even remember what the stat was.
Yeah.
But anytime you're on a list with Jamarcus Russell,
That's 9.
that's 9 for you. Next question. Why didn't the Steelers try harder to upgrade at quarterback? Yet another question that I just don't have an answer to. They
Yeah,
seem
we
to
do.
be very
We know the
content
answer.
with that they're
Aaron, they got to play this game with Aaron Rodgers, man. It's part of his
Who's
contract.
forcing them to do this.
It's part of his contract, man. He's got to play this long, make it super drama-filled,
No, but I
play
think-
it out.
I think the
am I
question
gonna,
is,
am I
why
gonna
are they
hop on the
settling?
team?
I think the question is, why is this the avenue? I know that Aaron Rodgers is going to end up playing for Pittsburgh, but let's just, for this conversation, say that he's already signed with Pittsburgh. Why were they content with that being their?
What's the other options?
I don't know. You could have called the Vikings about J.J. McCarthy. You could have
Right.
called about Mac Jones.
You just said McCarthy
anything.
stinks. Here's the thing. The last time
Could've
they tried to do
drafted
this, they've really struggled post-Big Ben, obviously, to figure out who their quarterback is. The last time they tried to take different avenues, okay, they drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round. Yikes. Then they got Mitch Trubisky to be their quarterback. Yikes. Then they said, you know what? We're going to bring in 2 guys. We're going to bring in Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And both of them
Somehow that
stunk.
was the most successful avenue that they took.
Sure. I guess they made the playoffs there in Rodgers, so you could say, they make the playoffs every year. So, they've just really had no success with any avenues. So, you know what? Kicking it down the road, we'll just rock with Rodgers for another year. Also, they brought in Mike McCarthy. I think that's probably another reason why. And then they just have to have a bad year where they can draft a QB. That's their only way to get out of this. And unfortunately, the Steelers will never have a bad year. They will be 9-8 every year, or 10-7.
Next question. Why didn't the Browns cut Deshaun Watson? My answer is I think he actually might be their best available option. Unfortunately for the league and for the sake of humanity.
The best option? Give me Shedeur.
It's him or Shedeur, man. I mean, pick it like it's not like any of those choices is jumping off the page.
Give me Dylan Gabriel.
No, Dylan Gabriel was terrible.
They should have cut Watson, man. You got to send a message. Look, I know we messed up trading for this guy. We're actually not that bad of an organization. Okay, we'll get this guy out of here. That's what they should have done. Instead, he might be the starting quarterback week 1.
Yeah, I wish I could see odds on this. Odds of Deshaun Watson starting week 1. And I think people have forgot how terrible he was the last time he was playing.
It's not like he's just a bad guy. He was bad at football too. Like he became so bad. He flipped overnight. A bigger flip than Jalen Duren regular season to playoffs.
No. Come on. Don't do the hyperbole.
Yeah, that's the biggest flip ever. You're right.
Let's keep going. Why didn't the Texans extend C.J. Stroud? I think they don't want to end up in a Jordan Love Packers situation where it's like, yeah, we gave him $55 million a year. Yay. And then it's just this awkward, like, yeah, he's not terrible, but he's certainly not worth being one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL.
I don't think the Packers are, like, super regretful of doing that. What was their other choice? They kind of just had to do that.
I don't think they had to make him the highest paid quarterback in the league at the time.
I guess you're right. But I don't think the Packers are, like, screwed by it.
I don't think they're screwed by it. I don't think they love the contract they gave him.
I think the Texans are probably waiting to be like, let's see what the Panthers do with Bryce Young. Like, I kind of want them to see if they figure that one out first, because they're in a similar situation where it's like, Bryce Young had the first good year of his career.
It's those situations are almost like an inverse of each other. It's like, wait, Bryce Young was terrible for 3 years and now made the playoffs and
under 500. Yeah. Well, like, everyone knows Bryce Young is not that good. Like, Bryce Young is fine.
Yeah, I think everyone would still rather have C.J. Stroud than Bryce Young.
Yes, but you don't pay Bryce Young. Like, you don't pay that guy.
I don't know if they're going to have a choice.
And C.J. Stroud, yeah, that's the one where it's like, yeah, you probably do have to pay him, but if I'm him in his camp, I'm saying, look, man, I've won a playoff game the last 3 years. Like, pay me. That's the argument I'm making. It's pretty obvious. A team with no playoff success either in their franchise history. Like, that's the case I'm making.
Next question. Why didn't the Seahawks reward Sam Darnold with a new deal after winning the Super Bowl? My answer would be they don't have to. He has 2 years left on his contract. Why up his money now and hurt your salary cap in your salary table for the next couple of years? When
but wouldn't you want to get it out of the way? Do it now when you don't have to do it in 3 years?
Hot take. What if they just move off of Sam Darnold in 2 years?
I mean, that's just still out on Sam Darnold, huh? I have flipped. The guy won the Super Bowl, man.
Yeah, but do you want to pay him do you want to make him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL?
No, that's just all we're doing here. I think the main reason why they didn't is they had to make a different guy the highest paid blank in the NFL, and that was JSN got paid the highest wide receiver deal. You're going to do both of those things in the same offseason?
I mean, the Lions did
that's
it with
not a lot of
players.
Yeah, and look how it's worked out for them.
Yeah, backs against the wall a little bit.
Yeah.
Either way, if your points, either way they have to do it, though, you're just delaying the inevitable. I would guess they don't pay him at all. You're going to get 2 more years out of Sam Darnold and try to find the next guy, the same way that the Niners have done with their system over the past 7 years. Last one. Why didn't the Rams do more in the draft to help their 2026 team? Because
I mean, they did, though. They used their first-round pick to go get an all-pro guy. You could argue they used their draft better than anybody to improve their team.
I agree with that. I also think they feel like their 2026 team is capable of winning the Super Bowl right now, as it is, going into the year.
Yeah, I don't know if they had many other needs. Their needs was secondary help. They addressed that, and then they clearly liked Ty Simpson, man. Like, it's just one of those things that in the NFL, you go and get the guys you love, whether you think you're paying a way too high of a price. Oh, they could have traded down and got him, this and that. If they like him, man, you have to trust it. So, yeah, they could have done more to help their team. And if they don't win the Super Bowl, we might look back and be like, oh, great, what did their first-round pick do to help them? Sat the bench and talked to Matt Stafford while the defense was on the field.
Second, I lied. That was the second to last one. The last one is, why didn't the 49ers trade Brandon Ayuk?
No one wants him.
Yeah, he's a headache. I think Washington does want him, though.
I still think he will never play again. I think he's done in the NFL. I think his career's over.
Because he's a head case or because he got injured?
Both.
Okay.
Injuries, major head case off the field. I think his career's over.
Wow. All right. 989-837-6125. That's our trip around the league, as always, presented by Aired Insurance. They understand not everyone's insurance needs are the same. They want to work personally with you to create something best suited for your needs. Whether it's life, home, auto, fiscal insurance, it's all available with the Aired Insurance Group with Farm Bureau Insurance.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mix. Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
I really just, I'm still in disbelief as to how disinterested Jalen Duren is in, like, the competitiveness, the competitive spirit. It's one thing that he's not scoring, and by the way, incredible stat I have that I just saw online. Jalen Duren, in the regular season, played 70 games. 6 games he had single-digit scoring. So far in the playoffs, 5 different games. Like, what is up with this guy? It's not just the fact that he's having a hard time getting good looks off. It's the fact that he has a hard time, like, firing himself up to go be the competitor, the dog that he claims he is. He's getting out-hustled every time up and down the floor. That's the most infuriating part about all of this.
Are we able to remove the dog tag from Jalen Duren?
What would that make him?
He's a little puppy.
Yeah, he is. No, he's not a little puppy. He's the big dog. You see the videos, though, of, like, the German Shepherds who are acting all tough and showing teeth, and then the dad comes in, he's like, hey, and then he gets all cowardly. That's Jalen Duren so far in the playoffs. He thinks he's a big dog, and then he's gotten all quiet since he's gotten yelled at.
I'm just very interested to see, 1, how he comes out in Game 5, and 2, how does JB adjust with him? Because is it just a road thing? It's not like he was great in Games 1 and 2, but he certainly wasn't the way he played in Games 3 and 4. So does JB make an adjustment now that they go back at home with Paul Reed's minutes full time? I think he might have to.
Yeah, I would be playing, like, Paul Reed has always been to me like a, hey, break in case of emergency if somebody's in foul trouble, whether it's Stu, who also just looks like a disaster on both ends of the floor, or Duren gets in a, like, that's when Paul Reed was playing to me. I no longer think that's the scenario. Paul Reed has played his way into having 20 minutes a game, not 10, not 12. Yeah. He should be playing 20 to 25 minutes in Game 5, 6, and 7.
And Stu probably is just going to continue to be. I mean, Stu's minutes have been down anyways.
Stu gets like 1 run a game.
Yeah, I think that's just going to stay the same. Like, he's going to get 1 run. JB's philosophy of we're only going to play Paul Reed when we're losing and we need some sort of bolt of energy.
That's got to change,
too.
Yeah,
we need a bolt of energy at all times because the guy who's in instead of him brings no energy in Jalen Duren.
He actually does the opposite.
He sucks it out.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He's an energy sucker who makes everyone else around him just miserable.
That's a burn.
That's maybe the worst insult you can give to someone. You're an energy drainer, and that's exactly what Jalen Duren has been.
You walk in the room and everybody is mad. Everybody's down. Whereas Paul Reed walks in the room,
everybody's glowing.
And that's B-ball Paul.
I'll fully admit, like, a year ago right now, I almost made fun of the Pistons fans who were like, "No, we demand B-ball Paul plays."
I think you were thinking that like 2 games ago.
I know. It was like, come on, man. Like, let's be real. Like, I get B-ball Paul's fun, but he's not Jalen Duren. And now I'm just over it with Jalen Duren. I'm done with it. The lack of effort, the getting out hustled on the glass. It is genuinely difficult to only have 2 rebounds in 27 minutes when you're only playing as the 5. 2 rebounds. That's softness. Getting 0 through 11 games in the playoffs, 0 times you come up with a loose ball on defense. That's softness, man. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
I don't usually like calling players bums and soft, and that's what this has been, though, from Jalen Duren.
It has been, man, and it needs to change for them to have any chance to go on a deep run. And it honestly needs to change for them to win this series still, 100%. Because we can say the Cavs haven't won a road game, this and that. Okay, Duren also hasn't had a good game either. So we're banking on 2 things that haven't happened yet to happen. Which one's going to happen first? We're going to find out.
Crane's L&M Appliance Center right here has been serving the Tri-City area with quality homes, appliances, from refrigerators and washers to stoves and dishwashers, backed by friendly, knowledgeable staff that you can count on. They make getting the right appliance easy with delivery, personal installation, haul away for your old unit, and even financing options to best fit your budget. Stop into Crane's L&M Appliance Center today and discover dependable brands and great values for every room in your home.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9. on 100.9 The Mid.
Kevin Spencer, Edward Jones, right here with us live in studio. Just told me before you went on, former coach over at Dow High, football and baseball.
Yes, I was.
How many years ago was that?
15. Yeah, I left teaching in 2010.
Okay. So what were you coaching in the football scene?
JV coach, coached some at the varsity level and also a little bit at the freshman.
Okay. Detroit Lions. You know, I'm going to pick your brain a little bit on this as a football coach. They're heading into this season, probably more pressure on Dan Campbell than I think there's been in any year that he's been the coach of the Lions. True or false?
I would say true. The thing about the NFL is it's win or go home.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's had some years in here now, and he should be able to develop these players. One thing I will tell you that I've found in the last couple of years in their draft is they finally have the ability to draft depth. They don't have to necessarily draft stars. They have to draft depth, and that depth is what carries them through seasons where they have injuries. I mean, NFL is violent. It's a violent sport, and people get hurt.
That's what I feel like they prioritized this year in the draft. Like you look at some of the guys, like they took a right tackle. They take Derek Moore from Michigan in the first 2 rounds, Jimmy Rolder in the 4th round from Michigan as well. And it's like, I don't know if any of these guys are going to be like superstars in the NFL. And I'm totally content with that because they needed the role players around the stars that they already have. That to me was the strategy going into the draft of let's get the pieces around the edge that we need to fill the needs for, which had always been against what they had drafted before then.
And you always have the salary cap that you have to work around too, right? So you can't have 13 superstars in your roster and keep everybody happy.
Yeah. Tigers, they've kind of had a little bit of a season from hell, I would say. How much have you been keeping up with them?
Quite a bit. Yeah, the injuries, what I heard yesterday was they have 16 people on the IR, and there's 5 legit starters that they depend on, and they're not around.
They could put together like a starting rotation and 9-man lineup of just the guys on the IL that would be actually like a competitive group of guys.
Yeah.
In like a Major League Baseball game. It's crazy the way that it's gone with them so far this season, and it's a shame because McGonagall's been so good. I mean, he's hit like a cold spell, even though he's still been one of the best rookies in baseball. Riley Green's having the best year of his career in terms of just the most complete player that he is. Yet, the number one storyline that's dominating all the Tigers, conversations right now is how is this team going to recover from all of these injuries? And unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to. Luckily, they play in the AL Central, which is about as disastrous of a division as you could possibly find in professional sports. But yeah, it just goes to show this baseball team as it is right now, it just hasn't been very good.
I think the one thing again here, it's early in this season. Hopefully by the end that some of these people come back, but it's also getting some of the people out of the minor leagues a chance to perform and see if they're any good to play at the major league level.
Kevin Spencer here representing Edward Jones. Tell me a little bit of what you guys do for the community here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
Well, there's about 12 advisors here in town that work with Edward Jones. We've got several locations. The biggest thing that we tend to do is I like to compare it to like a jigsaw puzzle. When people come into the office and need help for something, we start to build the outside of that puzzle first, and then we start to complete that puzzle as the years go on, taking people from where they want to be to where they are now to where they want to be, and we develop strategies to help them get there. Very empowering career, very, very satisfying way to go about helping people. I did it when I taught, I did it when I coached, but now I get to do it for bigger people with different needs.
What's your favorite part of the job?
Meeting with the people, finding out who they are, what they want to accomplish, and helping them get there. I've had people in my office that we set up goals and needs and tried to develop what they want, and when we finally get there, they cry. I mean, that's pretty powerful. When they finally reach a goal that they wanted to accomplish, retirement, whatever it may be, and they're so emotional about it, that's pretty satisfying.
Yeah, that's probably like the most important part, right? When people first connect with you is making sure that you are able to set the goals and plan for what those goals are, rather than just, hey, let's make some money here. You got to get a little bit more specific with what those goals are.
Yeah, and the investing part of it is just a small portion of what I do every day. It really is. it's minuscule compared to what we do for strategizing for people. And again, finding out what's important to them and trying to make sure we reach that and what they want to accomplish.
You said you've been doing this about 15 years?
Yeah, I'm just about done with 16.
What made you do the switch from teaching and coaching to this?
It was hard. I loved teaching. I did. It was one of my passions. I went to school for it, got my master's degree in it. I had also joined a stock club years ago and was really interested in the investing world. Didn't know he could make a career of it, but I was introduced to a guy, and he said, with the work ethic that you put in, the fact that you can talk to people pretty freely, you might be able to make a world of this. And I took a chance. It was a hard decision, but I've been blessed. I've had 2 great careers that not everybody can say that, and I can.
Did you go right from teaching to partnering up with Edward Jones?
Yes, immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Smooth transition.
Nothing's ever smooth. I mean, it was a lot of work, but yeah, they gave me a lot of help at home office. A lot of people in the region really helped me to get to where I am. And now I'm giving back and doing the same for others.
So where's your business located out of?
Yeah, I'm at 412 West Wackerly, sort of kitty corner from the 555 building on Wackerly.
Okay. And you're just taking on new clients at all times? Like, how can people get connected with you?
Facebook is one way, but going to the website for Edward Jones, you can search that way. We always are taking on new clients because there's some advisors that only take certain levels of business, right? They've got to have $1 million or whatever. I'm not that guy because I look at everybody needs help, and not everybody has the ability to do what I do. They may not understand it. That's not what they do every day. Some of them need that help, and I'm willing to provide it. I think that teacher in me is that's helped with.
What message would you give to young adults like myself who are thinking maybe, I got rent, I got loans to pay, don't necessarily know if I've got the money to be able to start investing, but maybe do have a surplus? Like, what would you tell a young person in their 20s, 30s that is maybe thinking about it but is kind of on the fence?
I'll tell you, like I told my kids. And so I've got a couple kids, and that what I told them all, I said, you need to take 10% of your salary when you get your big boy, big girl job and start there. And then keep investing and don't stop. Every year you get a raise, a merit increase, take half of that raise and put it to your today self, use it, spend it, and to put the other half to your tomorrow self for retirement. And soon you're built up and you're maxing out your 401ks and 403bs, and you haven't even felt it. So you have to do it. Pensions are a thing of the past for most people, and the people have to create their own.
I hear you're also a big golfer.
Oh, yeah.
What are you shooting these days?
Not low enough.
You and me both. I've had this goal all summer that we're kind of doing a video series of trying to break 99. Oh, it's not looking good. I'll tell you that right now. It's not looking good.
Keep swinging. That's how I just keep swinging. Get some good lessons too. The one thing I've got a couple buddies that we've got something going that if I get a hole in one, we are celebrating in a way. I won't say it on air how we're going to do it, but we're celebrating in a way that they're all going to appreciate. So.
Have you gotten a hole in one before?
No.
Have you come close?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's fingers crossed. Maybe this is the summer it happens.
For as many swings as you take and that you actually put on the green, it is pure luck. There's nothing more than that. It is pure luck to get that thing in a hole, a 4-inch hole.
Kevin Spencer representing Edward Jones here with us in the studio. Appreciate you coming on. Always good catching up with our partners here on 100.9 The Mitt. Any final messaging towards someone considering maybe connecting with you in order to get something going in terms of goal setting for their financial future?
If you've been on the fence about, putting money to work, investing, come in. We'll teach you some of the things that you can do. And if you walk away that you don't want to do anything, that's fine. But if you do want to do something, we can help.
There we go. Edward Jones, Kevin Spencer here with us live in the studio. Be right back here on the Ben Bosscher Show. Kyle Sandal's going to wrap it up here for you with the Loons game starting at 11 o'clock, so stay tuned.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
All right, welcome back into the couple final minutes here on the Ben Bosscher Show. We're closing things early today. Ben is gone. We finally got rid of him. He got too mad about Jalen Duren. He had to leave the show early. Now, as you can see if you're watching on our YouTube page, Loons versus Whitecaps, 11 a.m. Kids Day game today. Brad and John just went on the field, got the kids going with the 6'7". They broke the 6'7" world record here, apparently, which is, that's something else here. We just got about 5 minutes. We're going to close things at 10:50. We'll send it over to John, get a little bit of pregame action before game 1 of 6 here between the Loons and the Detroit Tigers-affiliated West Michigan Whitecaps. I do want to close the show today, though, just quickly talking about the Pistons once more again. What a tough game this was to watch. Ben and I were texting throughout this game, and I have not been more frustrated watching a game in quite some time than this one, and it really makes me wonder what is going to shift first in Game 5, because I still feel like the Pistons are going to win this series, right? You go into the final 3 games of this. It's essentially a 3-game series, best 2 out of 3, and the Pistons have 2 home games, playing against a team that has yet to win a home game so far in this series. So that's what makes you feel pretty good about it. The issue is Jalen Duren not only has struggled, he's gotten worse in this series. And I didn't really expect that, because in the Orlando series, he was really bad until the 3-1 comeback started to happen, and he was fine. And then the first 2 games against the Cavs, it was like, okay, he's not really scoring as much as you'd like him to, but he's rebounding. Jared Allen got into foul trouble, so Duren really showed, he could be that prowess on the glass in Game 1. Game 2, a little bit worse. Game 3, really bad game. Game 4, probably the worst game of the playoffs. No positives. 2 rebounds. Couldn't catch a basketball. The turnovers are just at a terrible level at this point with Jalen Duren. And so going into Game 5, you have the Pistons' second best player in the regular season. Have to preface in the regular season, because in the postseason, it's absolutely been Tobias Harris. That guy is getting worse on a game-to-game basis, and we're at a point now where you can't expect him to shift back to regular season version. And then you have Cleveland, who has yet to win on the road. It's crazy that they are now 11 games into the postseason, and they have just split 6. Well, it wouldn't be a split, I guess. Once they lose Game 5 to the Pistons, it would be a split. 6 home games, they've won all of them. 5 road games, they've lost all of them. So you still feel like if for me on a 1 to 10 scale, confidence-wise for the Pistons, I put it like a 5.1. It is just barely above even keel. I don't really know, 50-50 toss-up. I'll give them the most slightest edge there is, just because the Cavs haven't won on the road. Game 3 was the game. It was the game to take. Last night, 25-0 run. Yeah, they can make some sort of comeback if they want. They're never actually coming back. 25-0 run. Donovan Mitchell scores 39 in the second half. No comeback is being had there. And the most frustrating part is the Karis LeVert game was blown. Ben and I talked about this when Karis LeVert was on the team early in the year. Guys like that win you playoff games. The flamethrower off the bench guys, they always have a game off the bench that is going to win you a playoff game. Now, they have a lot of games where it's like Karis LeVert probably is only going to play 8 minutes, might make 1 shot, he might shoot 1 of 4. That's most of the time what you're going to get. But when he gives you the 20 ball off the bench, especially how hot he got early in last night's game, you can't waste that. On top of Paul Reed having the game that he did, all of it being wasted is the most frustrating part, because you're not getting that out of Karis LeVert again. He might give you some of it. You're not getting 24, especially 12 in the first 8 minutes he was in the game. You're not getting that. And so that's the most frustrating part. What's going to break first? The Cavs streak of not winning on the road, or Jalen Duren's streak of just poor basketball, of having one of the worst playoff dips we've seen in a crazy long time? That's what's going to be the big part. I still am confident. Everyone who stuck around in our YouTube chat, we appreciate it. Gary, let's stay positive. Let's talk Tigers injuries. Right, Gary? Yeah, no. The Tigers are back in action tonight against the Mets. Pretty exciting, though. The Tigers' High A affiliate, the West Michigan Whitecaps, are here. Their number 2 prospect, Bryce Rayner, is a part of this Whitecaps team. He was called up not too long ago. So if you're in the Great Lakes Bay region, you've got 6 games this entire week to come out. And if you're a Tigers fan, you can check them out. You can also check out all the high prospects that the Loons have as well, because they're the best team in the Midwest League right now. And we're pretty excited to kick off this series with the home states, both teams in the state of Michigan here. And you can see, if you're still watching on our YouTube, A lot of kids here today. It's the Kids Day game. John and Brad just got them all excited. I know Ben, that's why he had to leave early. He's going to go out there, get the kids riled up before today's game. Excited to see Rayner, though, because once Max Clark gets called up, he is going to be the Tigers' top prospect. He's the number 2 prospect right now, a top 25 guy in all of baseball, and he's right here in the Great Lakes Bay region. That's going to end things, though, for today's show. We're going to send it over to John immediately, right at 10:50. No guessing Collins Open today, sadly. Ben's the one that gets screwed over because it was his turn to go first. No lock of the day today either, so you're going to have to come up with all that by yourself. That's probably a good thing, though, because Ben usually gives out wrong picks. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 9 a.m., 9 to 12, with a full 3-hour show, just a shortened one today. Let's now send it over, though, to John Vicari and Brad Tunney, because it is Loons baseball time.